Story is the power of meaning, the deepest insight of our world-organizing perspective. It's the bridge between the ideas we have in our heads and how we live and embody our lives. Story is transformative. It can bind us in unity and it can tear us apart in hatred. Story is how we shape the world and who each of us is and can become. We live in an unprecedented time of change, threat, and promise. More than ever before, the stories we tell are vital. As individuals, as human animals, as groups, as communities, as inhabitants of a fragile and yet powerful ecosystem in which nothing can be separated from the matrix of everything, our stories shape the world. Hello, I'm Jan Fortune, the author of Becoming Your Story and Diving Deeply into Your Story. I run the website Becoming a Different Story to share a passion for the writing life and to help others develop their writing at all stages. I know how hard it can be to fit writing into a busy life, which is why I design courses that help writers take time exploring their deepest motivations, connections, and processes. One of the ways that I find is a very powerful thing to do that is through journaling. It's something I've been doing all my life, and I find it a fantastic tool to inspire what I'm writing, to push myself beyond boundaries, to improve craft, to dive deeply into process and flow, and to help become the writer I want to be. And I have a passion for sharing this with other writers like you. Story is the power of meaning. Story is transformative. So 2 questions. What story do you want to write? What story do you want to become? I blog and create courses for anyone who wants to be free and in their imagination to add depth and urgency to their writing. Anyone who wants to make or re-engage with a commitment to regular writing, which can often begin through a foundation of journaling. And anyone who wants to understand that stories change everything and wants to expand the boundaries of their own creativity. The story we live is the story we write. You can be someone who can conceive of and imagine new stories for the world. You can create a sense of congruence between your writing and your life. You can dive deeply into your creativity. The writer you are and the writer you want to be and the person you are and want to become are all integrally mixed. They're all part of each other. Writing is very powerful and it comes from within. So we need to give that writing time, attention, and power. So why journal? Those are a few of the reasons. I think there are so many reasons to journal, and it is, as I said, such a powerful tool. It's very inspiring. The story we live and the story we write can become one and the same. There's an old adage in writing that we should write what we know. I think that's rather too simplistic. Writers are people of vast imagination. We can write utopias or a world in which technology holds all kinds of possibilities that may be futuristic or alternative versions of the present. We can write histories of lives that obviously we haven't lived ourselves. We can write psychological depth that comes from our dreams where we've only glimpsed certain little bits. What we can't do is write what we can't imagine or conceive of. What we can't do is make our readers empathize with any character that we ourselves don't have a deep understanding of. Writing what we know isn't about writing within the limits of our experience. It's about writing within the limits of our spirits, minds, and imagination. And those limits can be constantly expanded. They can be constantly heightened. they can be constantly deepened. So, whether you're a fiction writer, a poet, a blogger, a non-fiction writer, or write just for your own personal development and processes, journaling is incredibly powerful, and it comes from who you are, the boundaries you are prepared to engage with, the depths of your imagination, and the height of your soaring soul. Your journal is a space in which you can take yourself and your writing seriously. It's where you can explore your hopes and dreams. Because it's such a private space, you can develop yourself, develop your writing, and as you do so, this in turn enriches how you connect with other people. So it deepens and strengthens those connections, whether human, non-human, always beyond ourselves. Journaling is a way to explore the within so that we have the confidence and the ability to go without and to make those deep connections. Journaling your hopes and your dreams and your souls will be good for your writing. It's that space where you can push yourself. And as you journal, you look into the future with hope and expectation, but you also find that you have this body of writing which tells you where you've come from, and you'll be amazed at how you can see how much progress you've already made as a writer. It's a way of integrating writing and life. But why does that matter? So many writers never integrate their writing in their life. There are characters who we know to be, as writers, miserable, alcoholic, not self-reflective. Why does your writing life matter? I believe strongly that when your writing is congruent with who you are, then your writing voice becomes more authentic. You have more insight into and compassion for the human condition, and that makes your writing so much more powerful. You make much deeper connections. And that private space is also a space where you can be radically kind to yourself. We all have that inner critic as writers, and most of us, many of us, are not very kind to ourselves. We're very self-critical. So it's a space where you can take time to be generous, gracious, non-judgmental with yourself. And when you do that, you find that you do that with your characters, you do that with real people. The more we flourish as writers, the more the writing we produce flourishes as well. The transformative power of story begins with every one of us. We are story seeders for whatever place we live in and love, whatever our passion and quest calling us to write. So I'd like you to try this exercise. It's something you can come back to after watching this video. And it's about exploring your creative pathway. You'll need a double-page spread of a journal or a great big sheet of paper, and you draw a path. It can be a circle, it can go wiggly as you want, it can be any shape. Draw your path through life. Let the page go right off to the edge. And then mark on it significant moments in your writing life, or you might want to do broader than that. Your ambitions, your values, significant books that may have had an impact on your writing, stories and milestones in your writing. And then turn the page. And on that new page or another new big piece, where does your path lead? Describe it in detail, what you want to achieve, the books you want to read, and more importantly, the books you want to write, and the person you will have to be to do that writing. Give your writing power. Fly, trust, take risks with it. It starts with this internal story, the one we live, the one that we desperately need to write, and then it pushes us beyond the individual to become part of a matrix of stories that support how we connect to all life. But first, of course, the words have to find their way onto the page. And to do that, we require a lot of time alone. Writing takes huge amounts of energy, huge amounts of emotion, and that means we have to have the strength to connect. And that's another reason why journaling can be such a fantastic tool. If we are to be people of deep connections, we need to be people of deep inner resources. So writing your creative year. This is summer solstice coming up soon. What story are you becoming? How are you connecting with the seasons, with your own bodily rhythms, with daily rhythms, with the rhythms that you have to have between your work, your writing, all your other commitments? In what ways do you feel yourself part of your natural environment, your home environment, all those different parts of you that will give rhythms to your story that are going to affect you? Small steps add up to big changes. It's so easy to get overwhelmed when we think of the many, many commitments we have in life, and then we think we want to add writing onto that as well. So I just want to offer a couple of ways to give your writing power. As soon as you log off, go back to that creative pathway journaling exercise and think about how you want to integrate your writing and your creative life into your whole year, into the rest of the year, how it's blooming and blossoming now as we approach solstice. And then, when are you going to journal? When are you going to give yourself time to write? Think about it, make the time, and put it on your calendar and keep it. You can join my course and get lots of support for a year or more of deep journaling. However you do it, make the time, make it sacrosanct, and keep it. So this is an invitation to the transformative power of your story. As we reach midsummer, the zenith of the sun's transformative power is great, and it's fantastic for creativity this time of year. So I'm offering, in celebration of that, my signature course, Becoming Your Story, with an extra special add-on, the 8 seasonal writing courses that belong to the Diving Deeply into Your Story suite. And I'm going to put those in free with Becoming Your Story and at a reduced price, only up to June the 22nd. A bit about Becoming Your Story. This is a big journaling course. It's a course designed to help you push your boundaries as a writer whilst thinking deeply about your writing practice and your life. It's got a PDF workbook. There are 67 audio files, so if you prefer to listen as well as read or do a bit of both, you have access to all of those. There are 111 creative journal exercises that will take you through the course and enrich your writing and your practice and widen its scope. It's a big course. You can do it in 4 months if you push and push and push, but you don't have to do that. You can take 6 months, you can take a year, you can do part of it and come back when it's the good time for you. It's your course. You can structure it around your life, but make sure you somehow make the time to finish. However long it takes, keep going. And then a bit about diving deeply into your story. This is a seasonal course, and it's a set of 7 little courses, each lasting 3 to 4 days, and they go through different seasons of the year. And then in December, there's a 5-week course that runs into January. You can start at any point of the year, so the next one will be the summer solstice, and that starts in a few days' time. You can start in autumn, you can start in winter. It seasons and it cycles round. It's a course you can come back to and refresh those rhythms, those links to the seasons, to your own environment. So, as I said, to celebrate summer and ensure as many people as possible can participate, I'm offering both of these courses together for only £220. Normally, the Becoming Your Story by itself is $297, and the Diving Deeply suite is $150. So it's less than half price for both of them together. And you just need to go to the page. You don't need a code. It's there on the page, but only till June the 22nd on the Becoming Your Story page of my website. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening. Lots of information to take in, so come back, listen again, do the journaling exercise, think about how you are going to give your writing time and space and power. And if you'd like to sign up for the full Becoming Your Story course, plus the Diving Deeply 8 mini courses for free, just use the checkout button on Becoming Your Story course page. And a reminder that if you have any questions, you can contact me anytime at jan@janfortune.com. Thank you very much.